if you're not paying attention to what they're doing, you're missing out, because as an athlete, you have an immediate expertise that you bring from your own shared experience that you could bring to these nerds making billion-dollar technology to keep someone alive for 2 more years. No, maybe longer, but athletes should acknowledge that. What's up, guys? It's another episode of the Athletes and Assets podcast with yours truly, Noah Lack. If you could do me a big favor, if you can leave a like and comment on the video, that would mean a lot. So we're going to get right into this episode. Today, I'm going to identify a topic and a trend that you need to be paying attention to if you're in the sports business world or if you're an athlete. Athletes should be thanking Bryan Johnson and Andrew Huberman profusely. They are literally opening up a new category for an athlete to make money, and they don't even realize it. If you know who Bryan Johnson is, you don't need to listen to this next explanation. But if you don't, he's the don't die guy. He's the guy that is doing everything he can to stay alive forever. He has the Don't Die Summit. He does all these tests, blood work, muscle work. His diet is incredibly regimented, and the goal is to see how long he can live. Bryan Johnson's 46. He claims he has the body of someone much younger because of his incredibly insane don't die health regimen. And then we have Andrew Huberman, who is a PhD neuroscientist and a tenured professor at Stanford, who's now very famous because of the Huberman podcast. I remember when he was like, if you get sunlight in the morning, that helps with longevity. And everyone was like in the morning was trying to go like look at the sun, and that's kind of silly, but he has different tips and tricks to boost health. And a lot of people have caught on this wave. I mean, we're seeing a whole generation right now, Gen Z drinking less, more health habits. You see the whole cold plunge sauna crew. I know my family, we've taken up cold plunges now, and the whole wave it's happening. It's a thing. It's a trend. Okay. Like, these health benefits haven't just been made up in thin air. Sometimes it feels like it, but this has been around for a while, but now it's like a whole industry, right? The health and longevity industry. And to tie a bow on this, Eternal, raised by the former Athletic founder and CEO Alex Mather, raised $13 million out of stealth to boost the lifespan of pro and lifestyle athletes using a variety of scans, in-house performance testing, hormonal shifts, testing for chronic conditions, and basically putting this whole infrastructure of longevity tools and technology that replaces your typical family doctor. This whole Eternal, stealth mode, 13 million raised from investors such as Lightspeed Venture Partners, Courtside. Shout out my guy Vasu. Vasu Kulkarni was a former guest on the show, actually. Next Ventures, Lance Armstrong's fund. Their products, the nuts and bolts of the product, aren't as significant as what this means for the industry as a whole. Just like AI is a thing and everyone wants to invest in the latest and greatest AI thing, health and longevity, and AI will be involved in the health and longevity industry, but this has just opened up a whole can of worms. And here is why a lot of people should really be paying attention from a monetary standpoint, is that athletes are the definition of athletic performance, health, and longevity. Like, if athletes should be thanking Bryan Johnson and Andrew Huberman for their work, because now athletes are getting a platter of health and wellness investment opportunities for them to make money from after they're done playing. Now, all of the opportunities won't be successful, but this is another industry that athletes are uniquely positioned in to secure equity and invest at the earliest possible stage, just because they're an athlete. Let me say this. It used to be like restaurants, franchising, fashion, like athletes now are in there, an industry that's becoming more and more lucrative in their backyard. They have the ability now that they should be really paying attention. If you're not paying attention to what they're doing, you're missing out, because as an athlete, you have an immediate expertise that you bring from your own shared experience that you could bring to these nerds making billion-dollar technology to keep someone alive for 2 more years. No, maybe longer, but athletes should acknowledge that. So I think this is really cool and something to pay attention to. A lot of your favorite athletes are playing longer, getting injured less. Some of them can't stop being injured. Although I question if it's an injury or if it's because they are chilling. And this is perfect. The longer you play as an athlete, the more credibility you have to go to a company or a cap table and say, hey, look, I'm living proof that because I played for X amount of years in the NBA or the NFL, this product's worked. This product's really helped. From knee brace technology to blood work technology to food to beverage to different types of internal scans. I mean, like, if I was an athlete, my family office, I would like pay attention. I would just like meet the latest and greatest health and wellness technology right now every week and see which one aligns with our vision and something that we can directly help. Get in at this is something that I would actually take an early risk on, even though a lot of athletes invest in like the later stage of companies, which makes sense. You know, I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice, but to be able to get a sneak preview at the latest Huberman, Bryan Johnson, eternal type of technology, I mean, that's an advantage. It's an incredible hack as another investment lane. So something I needed to call out there. Imagine investing something that allows you to play 5 more years than what you were intending. And also, because it's working, it's making money, and like you're playing longer, but also the valuation of the company is rising and making more money because people are understanding that this product works. And you could be a direct testimonial without feeling like it's a cheesy sponsorship deal or grab. I mean, come on, man. This is like a no-brainer opportunity. This is like a no-brainer situation here. So like, we need to pay attention to the health and wellness industry as an athlete. It's not like this industry was just made up from scratch, but everything comes in waves and timing is super important. And right now, this Bryan Johnson Huberman era, which I still think we're relatively early on, this is a trend that like athletes should capture like right now. Like right now, you know what I mean? Because we're still early. And imagine athletes having the humility to tell people like, hey, look, you could be like me, close to me as possible. We can't be Saquon Barkley, but like, this will help you jump longer into your 40s, right? Like saying something like that, Now you want to make sure you're covered with liability wise, but man, like let's pay attention to that. Let me know what you guys think, man. Leave a comment. Like, is this a sleeping giant? I think it's still a sleeping giant of an industry, to be honest. I really do. I really do believe that. If you're eating Cheez-Its, drinking alcohol as an athlete, just think about what if I invested not just in my own health, but in a company that helps other people. Good opportunity. Just saying. Really quick one today. I wanted to break down why the health and wellness industry is a sleeping giant amongst athletes. If you like that, man, give us a follow, subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff. Thank you guys so much. This is another episode of the Athletes and Assets podcast with yours truly, Noah Lack.